What's up, Whiskey is Swag community? Today I have an extremely exciting side-by-side. I got a bottle of Laphroaig 27, which usually goes for about $700 to $800, sometimes more, sometimes less. For some reason, a Costco near me was selling these for $300. So check your Costco's, folks. That's a pretty crazy steal. And to help put it in context, I do want to have a side-by-side with Laphroaig 10, which is a whiskey a lot of us know and love. I certainly like Laphroaig 10, very peaty, very medicinal, very Islay. So let's start with the Laphroaig 10, just kind of level set. Now, I want to look at the color, but the first question I have is this naturally colored? I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments. So it doesn't actually say, and in my experience, if it doesn't say naturally colored on the bottle, that often means it's not. And given that this is a pretty rich gold for this 10-year Islay, maybe it's giving me the vibe, maybe it is colored, but I could be wrong. Let me know. Oh God, Laphroaig 10 is just so nice. It's just everything you want from an Islay. It's got a lot of that salty, briny character from the ocean. It's got a nice peat to the nose, a bit of smokiness. Not as much as I remember. It's not killing me with smoke, but maybe I've had a lot of extremely peated whiskeys lately, like Octomore, etc. So it's all in context. Also just has some richness to the nose, like almost a bit of caramel sweetness from probably, I'm guessing it's bourbon cast. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really nice. You know, to me, the Laphroaig flavor profile is sort of unique from a lot of other Islay distilleries. I think a lot of people would say it's more medicinal. Some people call it like Band-Aid-y. And I get where they're coming from. It has almost like a liquid smoke kind of vibe to it, but it's very pleasant. And every time I get that saltiness, especially from peated whiskey, for me, it's just that really nice balance. It's very crushable. Honestly, one time I got far too drunk with a friend and it was on a Laphroaig 10 bottle because it's very crushable despite having a pretty strong flavor profile. Oh yeah. Oh God. The aftertaste, it's just this, oh, it's hard to describe. It's a really unique Islay though. If you've never tried Laphroaig and you like peated whiskeys, I mean, it's a must. Okay, now the one I'm truly excited about. The question I have, again, this bottle is usually around $800, my understanding. This bottle you can usually get at Costco for $40 to $50. Is this 14 times better than Laphroaig 10? I do not know. Looking at the color, I don't see a difference. So like color in the glass between the Laphroaig 27 and the 10 is identical, which I don't know if that supports the like naturally colored theory or not. So I'm gonna need to do some research on that. But Laphroaig 27 says, previously aged in refill hogsheads, transferred into first fill ex-bourbon and refill quarter casks. Matured in Laphroaig's famous warehouse number 1. These casks were then hand selected for a final maturation. That is interesting. So definitely have just a significantly longer amount of age on this. Let's give it a smell. Interesting. So it certainly doesn't smell as strong as the Laphroaig 10, which makes sense. I think, really aged peated whiskeys, they tend to kind of almost filter out a lot of the really harsh, not harsh, but like the more intense smoky flavors. Harsh sounds like a bad thing. I'm certainly not saying it's a bad thing. What I am getting here is more of the salt. Quite honestly, this is bordering on a citrusy nose for me. Like, it says lime on the back of the bottle, and maybe that's biased me, but like, I'm kind of getting that. Like, it almost feels tequila adjacent in some of those citrus salt kind of notes I'm getting on the nose, which is really interesting. I don't think I've ever smelled a whiskey that smells quite like this.
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
What do you think?
Yeah, grapefruity for sure.
Grapefruity. Did you get like that citrus or the salt? It's kind of a light smeller. Like, it's not like a super rich nose, actually. I find it a very nice nose. It's very inviting. Inviting me to take this sip. after I burp. Oh, man. Wow. This is juicy. It doesn't taste a lot like the Laphroaig 10, which makes sense, but
What's the biggest difference?
I mean, the most obvious difference is I think an extra 17 years in oak does fade the smoky flavors. And so it's not like a big, bold Isla like the Laphroaig 10. Oh my God, it's so citrus. It is like you squeeze lime in here, which is really interesting. It is, it is not a high proof. So this is a 41.7. There's a lot of flavor to it, but you can tell it's not a high proof. Like it's very mild and balanced. But the flavors I'm getting are like salt, a hint of smoke, but just a hint at this point. Maybe a bit of grapefruit is accurate. Like maybe I get that more on the palate, whereas you said on the nose. And I definitely get lime. Like it's like juicy limes in this. Oh man, it is sweet, but it's sweet in all the right ways. Where it's just like it literally is like there's squeezed fruit juice in there. Very citrusy. Really interesting. Just what an extra period of time did in the oak. I love it. I mean, it's so good. I could chug it. It is very crushable, which is maybe not what you want to. You don't want to crush your 27-year extremely expensive whiskey. Oh man, that is delicious.
What's your favorite? Well, which one would you say is your favorite?
Favorite is such a hard. These aren't the same. Like these aren't hitting the same niche for me. Like Laphroaig 10 is like, oh, I want something peated. I want some heavy smoke. Like give me some peated shit. I want Laphroaig 10. Like it's got that savory quality. Laphroaig 27 is like, this is interesting. Like those fruit notes, the citrus notes, you don't get those on a lot of scotch. And so it's almost worth that premium because it's just so unique. Like there's really not there's not a lot of Isla 27-year age whiskeys you can try. And so I find it very interesting. But in terms of like just sheer pleasure and enjoyment, they're similar. Like these are both really enjoyable whiskeys. And so it's not like I could say this is worth 15 times the price, but you are paying for this pretty unique flavor profile caused by so much time in the oak. So I think it is a fascinating whiskey. But that's it. If you're looking for that Isla smoke, like Laphroaig 10 is going to be just that more instant hit of pleasure. Whereas this, it's gonna strike those pleasure centers. Oh man. Oh, it's even got this caramelliness that's coming out now from the Laphroaig 27. But it's great. I mean, I'm going to give the edge to the Laphroaig 27, to be honest. But like these hit a different niche. So thanks for listening. I think if you can find this for $300, oh my God, get it. Like, how could you not? I don't know if I'd pay $500. And honestly, that's even cheaper than you can usually get it. I think this was usually going to Costco for $600. So I don't know. Certainly if you can find it for $300 to $500, I'd probably pick it up. Thanks for listening.